there, welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. It's myself and Nick again today. We are playing in Nick's front room as it's a bit cooler than his loft. So, we have our table set up. We're playing a 1750 point game today. We've got the heroic Blood Angels versus the horde of Orcs over there. And for once on our tables, we are more or less fully painted. Nick has a tiny unit over there with a couple of bits of paint on. And I'm fully painted and most of the scenery is painted. So pretty good going there. We've got this new scenery on the table today. What is it, Nick? Tell us a bit about it.
It was a Kickstarter I backed. It's from Mad Gaming Terrain. It's going to be going on sale soon as well from 40k, the shop in Colchester we used to go to. It's all MDF, basically put together in that. Obviously I haven't finished building the buildings. I've literally this week just thrown them all together, but all like the windows and that, I can push them out.
Oh, I see.
I've done it with a door and that.
I wondered about those, whether they were just kind of like there for detail or not.
No, they're all there push. I mean, I've got on one of the... This one, I've already taken out a trapdoor.
Oh, I see.
I've got like little bits I can put on there. There's ladders you can stick on for the side of the building.
Yeah, you can add loads of detail.
Yeah, and I've got loads of walkways in that as well, but it's all designed to be magnetised, because on the thing, you've got the two little holes. You can You can stick your magnets in there, and so you can have a big walkway coming across of it. And with the walkways, you've got crossroads, you've got ladders to make it go taller, higher, and that. So
loads of cool stuff. So go and check out 40k Gaming. I think there might be a .co.uk, possibly a .com, and they've got a great big shop in Colchester. So go and take a look there if you fancy some of that.
When it's actually coming to normal sale, I'm not sure because it's still sending out some of the Kickstarter stuff which has been backed. So I think it is after that.
No problem. Well, that's our board. As you see, we're pretty dense on terrain. We'll go for armies in a minute, but we'll quickly do the mission. So we played the open war deck today. So the way Nick and I do the open war deck is we draw deployment, then we draw the objective, then we draw the twist. And each of us gets one veto that we can use. If something comes up that we think, oh, my army's not good for that, or I don't fancy that, we can use one veto in total. So we drew this objective deployment there. See if I can try and get rid of the glare. There we go. So it's kind of like quarter versus quarter, with only a 12-inch gap in between. We're both quite close combat armies, but I was tempted to use my veto on that, but I'm glad I didn't. We then drew the mission, drawn and quartered. So this one, we each get to set up 2 objective markers, and then we score a point for each objective marker we control at the end of each battle round. The game ends after 5 battle rounds, and the winner is the person with the most. So we set up our objectives. We have one right in the middle of nowhere there, one over there hiding in that copse of trees, one down here at the foot of the Imperial statue, and the last over here in this set of trees. So it's slightly skewed to this side of the table, but they're kind of in a diamond formation, so reasonably well spread out. So then we drew the twist. The first twist we drew was Psychers, something happens to them. Neither of us are playing with Psychers, so we just got rid of that one and chose a different one. Then what was the next one?
Acid Rain.
Acid Rain makes it harder to hit with shooting and slows people down with charging, so Nick vetoed that.
And it was coming on and off throughout the game.
Sounded interesting, but because he's got far worse ballistic skill than me and he's going to do a lot more charging, I think it would have affected him a lot more. So that's kind of why we have the veto. Then the second one that we I vetoed, it was +1 attacks to all models in close combat. Nick has a lot more models, even though we're both close combat. So we've both used both our vetoes, so that means we're playing meeting battle, which is quite interesting. We have to divide our army up into 3 parts. No part can be more than half the units in the army, and then you choose a part to be on the battle at the start of the game, and then you choose a part that arrives at the start of your second turn, and then a part that arrives at the start of your third turn. So when we do our armies, we'll go through how we divided up our parts, but an interesting twist on the game, as the name suggests. Okay, let's go do some armies. So 1750 points of Blood Angels today. This is my first section. I've got 12 units overall because I decided not to combat squad my tactical squad, just for dividing purposes. This is my first section that will start on the board. I have 9 Death Company. They've got a Power Fist and a couple of Power Axes, and I have a Lamartes, the chaplain of the Death Company there. I have a tactical squad with Trip Flamer. They've got a Heavy Flamer, a Normal Flamer and a Combi Flamer, and a Power Fist on the Sergeant, and they have a Rhino with twin Stormbolters to rock around in. Then at the back we have 5 sniper scouts, or 4 sniper scouts, and one of them has a missile launcher. And rounding off my 6 units that I'm putting, because that's the max I can have in my opening part, is my Sakaran battle tank. If you haven't seen one of these, it's a Forge World model. It's a fast battle tank, reasonable armour, kind of like similar armour to a Predator, but better armament. It's got a really nasty big gun on the top, which is great for shooting at flyers. Not that Nick's got any of those. And it's got 2 las cannons on the side and a heavy bolter on the front. So that's my first section, and then I will shuffle along the sofa, hop, to my second section, which consists of another 6 models. So this one has a Whirlwind, a Leviathan Dreadnought, another Forge World piece there. This one has a Storm Cannon Array, which puts out a massive amount of kind of like autocannon shots, and a Grav Flux Bombard. It's good against things from 2 ends of the spectrum. It's really good versus vehicles because it does 5 damage a pop at AP -5, or against units it does D3 shots per 5 models in the unit. So if you're shooting at a mob of 30 boys, you get 63 shots. So good against both of them, and it's also got a couple of hunter killer missiles stacked on top. Then we have some characters. So these are all going to be able to deep strike in, which is why I've chosen to put them in the second part. We have my 2 Slamguinius captains, as they're commonly known. So it's basically a Blood Angel captain with a Thunderhammer and a Storm Shield. We have this one, who is my Warlord, and we have this one, who is not my Warlord. Okay, but other than that, they're identical. And then we have this guy here. He's actually a model representation I'm using today. So he is a Terminator Ancient. So basically a Terminator with a banner. He's got the Relic banner, which gives everyone Old Feel No Pain, 5+ to ignore a wound within 6 inches. So I'm using my old Terminator Apothecary model, because basically he's got the effects of the old Apothecary, and I wanted to use the model and don't have a painted banner one. So I'm using him today as the Ancient. Then we have a Terminator Squad, a blast from the past. I know they're not particularly good in 8th edition, but they're better than they were, and it's nice to give them a go. They've got Storm Bolters, a Cyclone Missile Launcher, and a load of Power Fists. And lastly, the last section of my 3 that will be deployed is a single unit of scouts armed with bolt pistols and combat knives. Okay, that is my force. Let's see what the dastardly Nick is bringing.
Right, now for the good guys. He's out the room, so I can say it. Right, for the Orcs. We are being led by Gazgul. I did a funny little WhatsApp to our group last night. I started making this army up at sort of 10 o'clock yesterday morning. By about 8, 9 o'clock last night, Gazgul was still the only thing on my army list. I didn't think I needed anything else to take care of this lot.
We'll see, we'll see.
So we're being led by Gazgul. This is also my first contingent. We have got a unit of Meganobs and a truck. And we're going to have the Gretchen come on in the first contingent. You know, game-winning Gretchen. We're also having a battle wagon, which has got a cannon on it. And a unit of 20 boys, slugger choppers, knob power claw. So that is my first contingent of 6 units. I have got 13 in total, so I could only bring 6 in to start with as well. So having an odd number. So,
I think I've got 13 as well. I'm just counting to start with, but it's fine for my numbers.
My second lot of units that are going to be coming in, we have got a Death Dread armed with 4 Dread Claws. We have got another truck with 3 more Mega Knobs. We have got the War Boss on the bike, and he's got the Axe Relic from the Chapter Approved book. We've got a unit of War Bikers with a Knob and Power Claw, and we've got a unit of 20 Shooter Boys with a Knob and Power Claw. And then for my third contingent, all I've got is I've got a unit of Commandos. I've tried them out in Zone Mortalis, now to try them out in the battlefield.
Let's hope they're better than they were in Zone Mortalis.
I hope so. See previous video.
Yes.
My reasoning for trying out the knobs is they are slightly more expensive than boys, but I knew I was facing Blood Angels, and I knew there would be. That was the tank I knew there would be. I forgot there's a Whirlwind, and my troops don't particularly like either one of these things that hide at the back of a battlefield, and I never get to them, so we'll get through everything else.
Okay.
So,
as you've done your army, I've got one additional thing to do.
Yeah.
We were possibly going to be playing against Dark Eldar as well today, if Mark managed to come along. So I've written some additional Orc rules to basically up them so they're on a level with a Codex army. Because at the minute they're lacking an army-wide special rule, they're lacking some relics, and mainly they're lacking stratagems. So we've written up some rules for Nick to use in his army just to put him a bit more on par with a Codex force. So we'll let you know what they are, just in case they come up game and you're wondering why. So first of all, he's got a Goths rule. Goths hit hard and are scared of nothing. It means they reroll ones to hit in a turn they charged, and also they get to ignore one of their models that dies due to morale. They get to ignore that for every character within 6 inches of the unit when it fails its check. A couple of Warlord traits. One of them lets them reroll a fail to hit or to wound each turn, which I think Nick has given to Gazgul.
Yep.
Another one lets them reroll a fail to save each turn. They're basically nicked from the last edition. There's a couple of relics. Dead Hard Armour. You can give it to a unit in a model in Mega Armour, which reduces all the wounds dealt by 1. There's a special Slugger Shooter, which shoots more, and there's a bigger Power Claw for crushing more stuff. Then there's stratagems, which will be the main bits that come up this game. There's Drown 'em in Daka. It costs a command point, and it basically means an Orc unit can make a shooting attack ignoring all modifiers to hit, whether they be positive or negative. So it's to help with firing at flyers, and there's loads of units now that just have minuses to hit, which Orcs cannot physically hit them because a 6 doesn't always hit, so that's in there for that. There's Gretchen Shield. It costs 2 command points, but it means if I shoot at an Orc unit and there's some Gretchen nearby, Nick can pay the points, and basically the Gretchen will die first. They'll take the shots for the Orcs. Orky Resilience. You can use it on an Orc character who suffers a wound. It costs 2 command points. On a d6, he ignores that wound on a 5+, and he gets to keep on rolling that for any other wounds he takes that phase. So it basically gives 5+ feel no pain to an Orc character. Red ones go faster, cost a command point. It means you can move your Orky vehicle a bit further each turn. Smash it up, lads. It's useful for Orcs if they surround a vehicle or a monster. If there's at least 5 Orcs in base to base with the vehicle or monster in the combat phase, you can spend a command point and deal it D3 mortal wounds as they all climb over each other and rip it apart. Best is bigger. This is to represent when Orcs win challenges and stuff, they grow, they physically grow. So if an Orc kills an enemy character in close combat, he can spend a command point and he gains +1 wound and +1 strength for the rest of the game. You can only use that once per model per game. And never tire of hitting. 3 command points, use at the end of any fight phase. Select an Orc infantry or biker unit, they immediately get to fight for a second time. That's similar to Chaos have got that as a thing, Gene Stealers have got it, Blood Angels have it, Space Marines have it. So more or less all the armies that can do close combat get the option of doing that. So I'm giving it to the Orcs as well. Just to balance out, obviously they don't have as big a selection of stratagems there, but it should make it a bit more interesting for Nick to play the army. Okay, that's that bit done.
We've just got to roll off to see who deploys. We are playing from this corner over here, and this corner over there is our setup aside, so we just got to see who goes where.
Okay, well.
Shall we want to roll off?
Yeah, I'll roll down here. I've got a 3. A 4. Which one would you like, Nick?
Oh, I should have put my objective where I wanted to.
You should have, yeah.
I was going to try and be cheeky and put an objective down here, hoping I win the roll-off for Gretchen to sit there for the turn, because when our other units come in, they can't come in our deployment zone, so Gretchen can be safe. I will decide off camera, because I'm going to have a think about this.
No problem. You join us after deployment, so what have I done? I've got this zone over here. Nick chose this bit down here because it's a bit closer to a couple of the objectives. Probably a good choice. So I've deployed a Rhino full of my flame attack squad there. My Death Company up in a flying wedge on top of this roof with Lamartes hanging out behind them. I have my Sakaran battle tank there, and my scouts, because they can deploy with their infiltratey stuff, have deployed up here. Nick has the battle wagon full of boys there, a truck full of Gazi and Meganobs there, Gretchen and a runt herd at the back, and that's everything for you, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, remember the mission is you get a point at the end of each battle round for each objective you're on. Okay, let's see who gets to go first. I finished deploying first, I believe.
No, I did.
No, you did, because you've got 2 vehicles, so you get +1 to this roll. Nick's got a 4, goes to a 5. I've got a 4, Nick gets first turn. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I'll attempt to seize. I don't know why you get to roll off and then immediately roll again. Oh, so close, but not close enough. Let's see what the boy can do.
Right, Orc turn 1, pretty quick. Almost done. Gretchen didn't move. They've stayed there on that objective. This truck's come round, so it's nice at the side of the building, out of line of sight for that big tank.
Cowering inside his truck.
This truck's moved forward 12, so we're on that objective. Fired its cannon over at the tank. It hits. It failed its saves. I do D6 wounds to the damage to the tank. I did 6 damage.
He hits on a 6+, mind.
Yeah, hit on a 6. So I did 6 damage and...
didn't use any stratagem points, just perfect rolling.
It's still in his main profile though, but it is down to 8 wounds.
Yeah.
So that was a quick, not even a 5-minute turn 1 for the Orcs.
Yep. End of Blood Angels turn 1. Pretty quick, not quite as quick as the Orcs, but still pretty rapid. Down here, my Rhino with the flamers inside shot over here to grab that objective and has popped smoke for the turn just because there was nothing really useful to fire at because Gazzy's hiding over there. Then we decided to concentrate all fire on the battle wagon. It's the only real presented target. So I declined to move on to the objective. I could have moved forwards with my Death Company, but if I'd failed to kill the battle wagon, which looked likely to be honest, then they would have had to charge the battle wagon and then get countercharged by the Orcs, which wouldn't have been good for me. So they decided to just consolidate there, and I opened fire with the Sakaran. It had obviously been hurt emotionally by the battle cannon shot hitting it and dealing such a grievous wound last turn, so it returned fire in spades. Only one of his las cannons hit, but got 5 wounds through, and then the top cannon opened up, ripping multiple holes in the battle wagon, getting another 8 wounds onto it. And then up here, the scouts took careful aim, as it was the only thing they could really fire at, but 1 crack missile and a command point to stop it bodging up, blew the battle wagon to pieces, dropping all the Orcs on the floor. They only lost 2 of their number, due to the vehicle getting wrecked. And that was basically the end of my turn. We score objectives at the end of each battle round, so at the end of each of my turns it works out. So nobody's scoring this one, because I was disinclined to acquiesce to Nick's request of me moving forwards. But Nick scores this one. His Gretchen over there scored that. Look at him getting all his models out ready to pour onto the battlefield. And I have scored that one over there with my Rhino. Let's see how things progress.
End of Orcs turn 2, and as we just commented, this game is going quick. It's supposed to take longer at the start of the game. Right, these boys literally just ran up the alongside of the building, took a couple of pot shots at the snipers, did nothing. My truckers come driving on here onto an objective, a couple of pot shots at the snipers, did nothing. Gazgul, yes, it was nowhere in charge range for anything, so he's directing the battlefield from there. It was a 12-inch charge to get into them.
So my cunning plan is I'm just going to go not near Gazgul. All the objectives around the edge. Gazgul will never take part in the battle.
That's true, but we don't need Gazgul when you have mega knobs like these ones that come on the battlefield.
Snuck in on the battlefield down here.
With the deployment, he left it, they got there, and it's a 9-inch charge. Of course, we roll a 10 and get in. Though we have left the tank on 1 wound.
Yeah, it is going to scamper away.
And I did use a command point to try and re-roll. It was obviously only 3 wounds got through, and it's D3 hits, D3 damage for each wound. And I rolled 2 6s and a 2. Command point re-rolled, and I got a 2 again.
3 more command points after that and hit it again, but
it seemed a waste. So 1 command point to try and blow up, not a problem. The Gretchen have obviously moved down here. The Run Herds decided to move and actually stand on the objective. The bikers and the war boss have come here. A couple of bikers guarding the war boss. The Death Dread came on here and charged straight up to the Rhino, ripped it apart, and took 2 points of damage because the Rhino exploded. But
one of my Marines died getting out.
Yeah, he obviously couldn't get out in time from the Death Dread, or the claw as it ripped through the Rhino just
beheaded him or something.
Caught him, and that is literally it. So obviously there's more Space Marines to come in now. So we'll see where they come in.
There is.
It seems as if like the turn's going to get longer as the game goes on, rather than
this big bad boy, Nick.
But you can stick that wherever you like. So let's see what the Space Marines do.
Blood Angels turn 2. This one was a bit longer than the previous few turns. So what happened was I deep struck and brought in all of my reserves. So firstly I brought in a jump pack captain there, and I brought in my Death Company jump pack warlord over here. The tactical squad had moved forward slightly, and they flamed the bikes, managing to take out, I think, 2 and put a wound on another, so not bad for all their shooting. Then they assaulted backwards into the Death Dread, along with my Death Company captain there. Nick interrupted the combat and hit my Death Company captain. I had to use a command point re-roll to not die, and then I remember, because I'm a Death Company captain, I get a 5-up save because of my warlord. trait, and I ignored all the 3 wounds I had taken. So he managed to take no wounds from a full Death Dread attack, and then smacked him back, destroying him with a Thunderhammer. But we've moved back, and I basically moved the tactical squad into combat as well, so that then I can do a heroic intervention if Nick charges the tactical squad. Over there, as I say, that guy failed to do anything. We'll go around the table this way. I brought in my Whirlwind, my Leviathan Dread, and I retreated my 1 wound Sikaran away from the Mega Knobs there. Unfortunately, you'll see the Mega Knobs are still there. The Leviathan came on here, split fire with his 2 guns. He fired his Storm Cannon and his couple of Hunter Killer missiles over at Gazgul's truck, blowing it to pieces. He fired his Gravflux Bombard at the Mega Knobs. Not really the ideal target because it only does 2 wounds. And Mega Knobs in 8th edition have got 3 wounds, so I only got 1 wound through to them, putting 2 on that guy. So I haven't whittled down their effectiveness at all. I tried firing other things. I fired my Sniper Scouts down at them, hoping to plink through a mortal wound to at least take out 1 of them. And I also fired my Cyclone Missile Launcher's Crack Missiles and his Stormbolter at them as well, but to no avail, did nothing. These guys are deep struck down in the centre, along with my Ancient in the middle there, and laid down some Stormbolt fire on the Orcs. I think I killed maybe 4 of them, so not the best of rolling, and it got worse when I fired my Whirlwind over at them as well. Got 4 hits on my 2d6 shots, and I think I only killed another 2 with the Whirlwind. So I aimed to do a load of damage to the Orcs to force a leadership check. Didn't even kill enough of them to even make it worthwhile making him check. So then combats. I charged the Death Company and Lamartes into the Mega Knobs and Gazgul. I hadn't realised Gazgul has a 4-up invuln save, which is better than I expected. I thought he might have a 5-up at most. So my Power Fist and Power Attacks ricocheted off him. I got 1 wound through with a normal chainsaw, and my rest of my Death Company attacked the Mega Knobs, getting a few wounds through, dropping 1, and then Lamartes chopped down the final Mega Knob that was remaining there. Nick hit back with Gazgul, killing 3 Death Company. And then I used the fight again stratagem with my Death Company, thinking I really wanted to get Gazgul down. So I've spent a ton of command points this round. I've only got 2 left. And I smacked Gazgul upside the face and got him down to 3 wounds.
Only because I used 2 command points.
Yeah.
But the new stratagem you made up for the Orcs.
Yeah, Nick used the thing. What's it called?
It was called... Orky Resilience.
Orky Resilience. He activated on there, costs 2 command points, gives you a 5-up versus all wounds this phase. So Nick prevented Gazgul from dying using that, and then he used the fight again stratagem that we've also given the Orcs to hit back with Gazgul, who wiped out basically half the Death Company. So there's only 3 Death Company and Lamartes left there, but Gazzy is on 3 wounds. So we both spent a pile of command points, and we're reasonably even in the centre there. Other than that, no other combats going on. It's delicately poised, I would say. If I'd have made this charge over here, I'd have been a lot more confident. But even with a command point reroll, I rolled a 5 and a 2. Yeah. So I was re-rolling to try and get a 4 to get in and roll a 1. So didn't manage it. So that's a bit of a bugbear. But hey, let's see what happens.
The only other thing that I forgot completely in my Orc turn 2, when I looked at the sofa, I forgot to bring in my unit of shooter boys. So that's coming on wave 4.
How many is there? 10 of them?
20.
20 shoe boys. I mean, 20 shoe boys. What does that mean? Shit. We'll be back in a sec.
The end of Orcs turn 3, and yes, the turns are getting longer. Right, so this turn, obviously my shooter boys came on and my commandos, so all my units are now on. We brought the shooter boys on at the edge here, trying to shore up the Gretchen and that, just to make sure I had this objective. I'm worrying about the captain there. He could just come over and the whirlwinds. I didn't think they could last long, and obviously if I can stay out of flamer range of them, I'm kind of hoping something's going to have to stay on that objective if Curly wants to keep the point.
Yep.
So we came on, we shot the captain, the Gretchen shot the captain, and the bikers and war boss finished him off. So there was no immediate danger for someone really jumping over, apart from the Death Company captain guy over there. The war bikers and that, the war bikers managed to make their charge and help Gazzy out. They only killed 1 of the Death Company though. We were just hoping they could do a bit more help.
Poor rolling on their behalf.
Yeah. So Gazzy finished off the other 2 Death Company because we had to. I thought it'd better to try make sure I killed them and leave Lamartes, who finished off Gazzy.
Yep.
Nice and easy. The boys over here came in and made a charge into the Terminators, and the Mega Knobs came in as well. Curly used his last 2 command points to interrupt here and with the Terminators and killed 2 of the Mega Knobs and killed a few of the boys. I only managed to kill one Terminator in
was
return. It was
my ancient, wasn't it? I made 3
Yes.
out of 4 of my
It was
reroll my Feel No Pain.
yeah. So it's a bit of. I was hoping to kill 2, possibly 3 Terminators there. It was a pain.
And the fact that the banner, because remember he's a banner, not an apothecary.
Yeah.
He lets me re-roll hits in combat as well, which is really helpful with the power fists that everyone's armed with.
And my commandos came on the edge here because I got 2 rockets in here. I fired the rockets off, hoping to do there, but I missed both times. I was hoping to blow that up just to finish that tank off. But yes, I was hoping to. It was this objective that I wanted to try and take away, really.
Well, I've got to kill your boy, because at the minute he is OBSEC. So I'm not getting that objective at the minute, you are.
The main problem being is Curly has no command points left. I have no command points left. It's like we're playing old school 40k.
Yes, weird.
So yeah, we're going. My war boss failed his charge. That was the only other thing with there. So he's stuck in the open there, and he's obviously got some Space Marines and things there. But
he's gonna be introduced to Mr. Thunderhammer.
Nah. So right, that is it really. So we'll see how the Space Marines get on.
Hi there, and it's Blood Angels in turn 3. So down here, the Commandos. I moved my Dreadnought. Unfortunately, I brought this on in the wrong place last turn. I thought the Gravflux would do more to his Mega Knobs than it did, and I brought it down there so it could shoot at those and Gazgul's transport. But once both of those are taken care of, it's just another range to hit anything. So it's waddled over towards these Commandos, took out a few of them, and then a couple more died to morale. There's 4 left. The tank moved back over here. It's on 1 hull point, so it's not got a whole lot of Dakar left, because it's only hitting on 5, 6s of its las cannons when it's moved. So it fired up at the truck you can see over there. Didn't connect with hardly anything. Got 4 wounds through with its big gun, which is the thing that doesn't have minuses to hit for moving. The Whirlwind, combined with my scouts who've come on down there, and the Dakar from my Space Marines here that are staying on their objective, all fired into Nick's big blob of 20 boys he brought on. I think they're down to maybe 9 number?
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7.
7 in number, including leadership, so it did a good number on them. My Jump Captain Warlord there leapt forward, smashed the war boss to pieces with his Thunderhammer, and is moving on towards that objective over there. The Terminators in the middle managed to finish their combat with the single remaining boy and the Mega Knob there in combat with, so that was useful. So I've secured that objective, and the scouts up there did diddly squat as they attempted to shoot the truck that's on an objective. Nick's manoeuvre early game for bringing the truck on just for objective scoring is proving quite crucial, because at the end of turn 3, Nick is leading 6-5, while I am probably ahead on the table with units left and such. I control this objective, but Nick's still got a truck on over half health on that one.
Yeah.
I control this one with just a single Space Marine squad, and Nick's got 3 separate units over there.
Yeah.
Well, I've whittled down 1. So it's a bit touch and go, because this game finishes turn 5.
I think the crucial one for your turn.
Oh yeah, I forgot to do this one, didn't I? So this combat we basically slapped at each other. The Martyrs put 1 wound on a bike, they put no wounds on him.
Yeah.
Did a bad rolling and good saves.
Yeah, you're bad rolling for not putting wounds on me, and then my
you
really
just
bad
couldn't
rolling.
connect, could you?
If I'd been able to kill him, which would have been likely this turn actually, I could have had my bikes off to your.
That's it, and then that would have threatened
Marines.
this. But at the minute, I'm not threatened on either of my objectives, or I'm kind of threatening both of yours. But you're still ahead though, and this game ends in 2 turns, so it's a bit touch and go. We'll see how it happens.
So we're at the end of Orcs turn 4. Obviously, no more reinforcements or anything to come on. We've kind of went round the objective a little bit, but then I run the Orc boys off into the Death Company captain. They actually fired in this shooting phase. I fired over and killed a scout. Possibly should have fired over at the Death Company captain.
Yeah,
actually, now thinking about it, hindsight thinking about it. But yeah, obviously I undenied quite a lot about doing it. But we went in the Power Claw, 1 hit through, made the save. The normal boys, 7 hits through, and I did 3 wounds, so he's down to 1. So yeah, hindsight, if I'd shot him, I could have killed him, but it was kind of, do I get charged by him or do I charge him? It was a very, very hard decision to make. I think possibly
Looking like a good
one.
decision now.
Yeah, but it's leaving the Gretchen runnable on my objective. That's the problem.
I have a whirlwind.
Combat over here, I did nothing. I lost 1 biker and 1's taken another wound. So that's that. The commandos moved up, fired their 2 rockets. We got through to the tank, but it made its 5-up save.
Whoa.
Otherwise, the tank would have been gone.
That was a good plan because that was to protect your truck, wasn't it?
Yes, that was to try and protect the truck to take that out. So that's the end of my turn 4. I'd say not a lot left. To see how this goes. It's that combat there that I need.
I feel I've got to take you off one of your objectives this turn.
I need to win this combat. So if you don't
it's tricky.
If you don't take me off one of my objectives, I think I may just be able to squeeze a win.
I think if I don't take you off it this turn, then it's a draw at best for me.
Yeah.
If I do, then I think I'm looking goodish, depending on this combat.
It's this combat here, I think, and then it's sort of getting round to seeing what happens there, if at all. And what happens there now.
Wow,
so,
I'm about to run away from combat.
Ooh!
So I can flame you with them.
Okay, those boys are gone. Right, let's see how the Space Marines do though.
End of Blood Angels turn 4 and game turn 4. So this turn it turned around for me here. So what did we do? We fired the scouts down at the truck, failed to hurt it. No, I hurt it with my rocket launcher, got 5 wounds through. Nick ramshackled it to 1. So then I opened fire on my Terminators. Their Cyclone did 11 wounds to it. So that took out the truck, took Nick off one of the objectives, which was my bare minimum of what I had to do this turn. The Leviathan Dreadnought wasted his time, but did kill the rest of the commandos, so that's handy. Then I fired these 2 guys over at the Gretchen that were hiding over there, wiped them out to a man. Finally, the Whirlwind did a load of hits. So the Gretchen gone, that kind of left that objective open for the taking. Down here, the captain backed away from the bikes and has jumped over to contest that objective with the Runt Herd because he's not a troop choice. My tacticals here moved forward, flamed Nick's boys, murderised them completely, and Lamartez went mental with his Crozius this turn.
He finally went in and thought, I've had enough of this.
We've both been flailing uselessly for 3 turns, and he just laid about with his Crozius, killed all the bikers and the biker knob. So that kind of means I've won the game, because Nick's got 1 model left.
I have a Runt Herd left.
And I'm catching up on VPs. I would
you've
equal
overtaken
it.
now.
In fact, because I gained 2 this turn.
You gained 2, so it's 7-6
because I'm contesting that one, and Nick's no longer has that, and he's not going to gain any back. But we are, as it's Nick's turn, Nick is going to charge in and attempt to kill the captain with his Runt Herd.
To start with, I'm going to try and shoot him with a slugger.
Okay, my captain is on 1 wound, remember. This could be moral victory for Nick. Nick has hit! God damn it! Zoom in on the dice tray.
4.
Fails to wound. Looks like you're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, Nick.
That's fine with me.
So you're charging in. I'm going to overwatch you. I pull out a frag... No. The Runt Herd has surprisingly got 4 wounds. Who would have thought it? So I'm going to throw a crack grenade at him. Come on, a 6. Oh, so close. Okay, Nick.
So the Runt Herd, he's got the grot prod, so he gets 3 attacks.
3 attacks of a grot prod. Hitting on
3s.
Oh, 2 hits are in.
He has +2 strength on this, strength 6.
Oh, blimey, wounding on 3s. I'm actually slightly worried here.
2 hits.
2 wounds.
-1 to a save.
Oh, what? Luckily, I get my Storm Shield in the way. This could be embarrassing. Oh, no! Oh, but remember, I am a Death Company captain with that Warlord trait, which gives me a 5-up, ignore a wound. No! It was the red dice, not the white. Oh, the Runt Herd strikes down Captain Lorenzo, or whoever he is, and then probably runs off screaming to tell his mates about it after cutting his head off. Nicely done. That was a really good game. It was touch and go, wasn't it? That was really, again, the open war deck comes up with an interesting mission.
A very interesting mission. Obviously, bringing your units on at some at a time. So turn 3, then everything's on.
Yeah.
So it really led to where do I bring units on and stuff. The commandos may have been better bringing on in the corner.
Yeah, it gave loads of choice, didn't it? Because the game devolved into lots of smaller battles, whereas normally, certainly Orcs v Blood Angels, it would have been a line across the centre, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you just get into the centre, sort the objectives.
Whereas on this we had a big bundle here, a big bundle here, a bundle over here.
Yeah.
We had combats going on over there. It was really spread throughout the board.
We went throughout the entire board, because obviously I came over. There's certain places... Dice rolling I know he's let both of us down. I should have done better against the Terminators.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was here you were let down.
They're the bikers.
If you'd have managed to save Gazgul in that first round, this was a completely different game.
Yeah.
Because he's so deadly in combat. But I really like the objectives as well. 4 objectives, but because this game forces them to be 18 inches apart, it means that they have to be spread.
Yeah.
And
Obviously,
it really focused the game,
yeah,
didn't it?
I like the fact my truck and my Gretchen were the ones that scored objectives every time.
And there was no other ways of getting victory points, and nothing else mattered really.
No.
So I think I misdeployed. I definitely misdeployed my Leviathan.
Yeah.
He's so deadly, and he was back here, not near any
The
objectives.
tactical squad did very well.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah,
the flamers meant they couldn't really be charged that easily by you.
No, unfortunately, with your captain there taking out the Death Dread, that was the main issue I had around here. If the Death Dread if he didn't come in, the Death Dread was there. The Death Dread, as we said at the start, could have taken out those tactical without much of an issue. Really.
Yeah, that's it. No, overall, really good game.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go and try out some Kill Team. Ooh. So wish us luck. See you next time.
Bye.